Good morning.
Good morning.
Luca, good seeing you here. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, thanks.
So I'd like to introduce to you Luca Bergonzi. Luca Bergonzi is working with Beta80, and Beta80 is an Avaya DevConnect partner since 2015. And we are here at the ETSI Next Generation 112 interoperability testing in Sophia Antipolis in southern France. So Luca, what's your interest in being here? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, Beta80 is here for the testing of the PEMEA network infrastructure. PEMEA was part of the Nexus European funded project.
Right.
And basically the network is now addressing a specific issue. As you probably know, today there is plenty of 112 applications.
Yes.
In Europe made for calling 112 and sending location information.
Yes.
So what happens whenever you get outside your own region, which is covered by that application, region or country, you know? The thing is that your application doesn't work anymore.
Yes.
So citizens may be asked to start downloading other applications and so on. PEMEA tries to address this issue, making sure that there is a network of applications throughout Europe or even abroad.
Yes.
And the thing is that you will be able to, through this network, to use your own application made in your country, in your region, and so on, wherever you are.
Let me summarize, Luca. So if I raise an emergency call through an application to 112, this does work well in my country, if my country supports applications at all. So the call to 112 is routed by the network, and the app is sending the information to the local in-country infrastructure. But you're saying this does not work anymore when I go abroad.
Yes.
Still, if I use that application and I raise a call, the call will be routed to 112, but the data is remaining in the country of origination, and so there is no additional information like location or any other information available to the local PSAP. And this is what PEMEA is addressing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the thing is that it's very interesting because we are always talking about traveling abroad and so on, but just taking the example of Spain. As far as we know, there are more than 12 different applications throughout Spain. And even if you don't travel abroad, maybe if you go from Madrid to Barcelona, you may still find
you're still lost, and this is of course not very positive for the confidence of the citizens in having an application at all if you only know it's working in your tiny place where you're living, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So as of today, most of the applications we have seen are basically dealing with calling 112 and sending location information.
Yeah.
But of course, PEMEA and the Nexus project in general, they are addressing future features that can be installed in these applications. For example, imagine a situation where you had an application integrated with the Avaya WebRTC platform.
Yeah.
So the scope would be trying to understand how do you actually make sure that your multimedia stream works also in this PEMEA network.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because the goal is, in the end, is not to provide features to a citizen and then tell him, you know, if you go to this other place, the features won't be available.
Yeah.
The more you create, the more you must make sure that these things are available everywhere.
Yeah, I think you're pointing out to a very important element in here. Today, emergency calling is just voice call, as implemented in, I would say, 99% of the countries worldwide. What you're saying is the more we move into application-supported emergency communication procedures from the citizen's perspective, the more we need to make sure that the associated context, but also probably associated media that are only available through the application and not through the phone itself, find their way to the most appropriate public safety answering point. So we need to have location available from the app, through the distribution network, but also the resolving 112 network or the ETSI at some point in time needs to pick up that location information and route the call based on location information.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And besides, one of the goals we are now achieving today, as a matter of fact, is to see how this PEMEA infrastructure network is included in the more complex EasyNet. Infrastructure.
Yes.
Because we don't want to have two different separate things.
Absolutely. Luca, I think what Beta80 and Avaya really need to do, we need to look and identify how we can deal with this from a long-term perspective. This is what we are here in ETSI for, but also from a short to mid-term perspective, because, well, I sense that emergency services organizations are opening up for innovation right now, and probably, well, I don't expect that next generation 112 concepts will be put in place overnight. It's a process which takes some time, and I think both of our companies are very well situated in order to guide through this process and allow adaptive solutions depending on the step on the journey where you are in. So that would be quite an interesting approach, yeah.
And I know that the Nexus project is actually launching a specific program dedicated to innovation.
Yes.
So we could present our own idea of how these applications should evolve. And how does it fit into the PEMEA network and so on.
Right.
I assume that even if, as of today, as you say, the ETSI is not really in place everywhere, still starting from this point where you already have multimedia applications and so on, based, for example, on the Avaya WebRTC architecture, will be like an excuse to move forward.
Right.
Because they know that the technology is there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful.
Good.
So let's look forward to that,
yes,
Luca.
Definitely.
Great having you here,
Thank
and
you.
let's continue to discover these opportunities.
Oh yes.